All right, my name is Gerard. This is the third and final speech for Communications 101, the persuasive speech. Here is my note card. I'm going to show my audience. Mental illness and marijuana. Now those are two words you don't expect to hear in the same sentence. I've spent weeks doing extensive research on mental illness and marijuana, and today I can confidently say that I have brought valid knowledge that everyone in here could find useful in the future or resourceful. I'm sure all of us in here know someone or know of someone who has a mental illness. I personally know someone who's close to my family who suffers from a mental illness and experiences the symptoms that can cause a physical toll on the body and mind. Millions of people in the US suffer from mental illnesses which greatly impacts their lives due to the symptoms of anxiety, depression, and insomnia. But that can all be alleviated if those people decide to incorporate marijuana into their daily routine. So first, I want to shine the light on mental illness and how it affects everyone. People being diagnosed with mental illness it has become a more prevalent issue in the US, and they are suffering from the symptoms of anxiety, depression, and insomnia, just to name a few. But before I get into all of that, I want to first get into how many people suffer from mental illness in the US. According to the National Institute of the Mental Health, 1 in 6 Americans suffer from mental illness, and to break it down into more numerical terms, that's about 44.7 million people. And in another article, mental health disorders in America found on medicinenet.com, around 22.1% of adults 18 years older suffer from a diagnosable mental disorder in a given year. The degree of severity of mental illnesses varies from the range of mild, moderate, and then severe, and are broken up into two groups. One group, AMI, all mental illnesses, and the second group, SMI, serious mental illnesses. Now, AMI recognizes all mental illness such as anxiety disorders, mood disorders, and eating disorders, while SMI is a more broad, or is a more particular bracket which recognizes illnesses like schizophrenia and multiple personality disorder. Now, the mental illness epidemic is going to continue to grow whether we like it or not, with people suffering from various symptoms that just put a strain on the human body. Anxiety and depression is a very common symptom in many mental illnesses. And according to What is a Mental Illness article by the Mental Health Association, people who suffer from generalized anxiety disorder tend to exaggerate worry with day-to-day events, daily activities, and even go as far as anticipating the worst even though nothing has happened. Now I want to get into the bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is a little bit more of, they see a little bit more of depression than anxiety a little bit. So what bipolar disorder is when a person has manic mood swings, having manic highs, which is super happy, and within like the next hour they can become super depressed and just feel hopeless. Mental illnesses also have physical symptoms as well, symptoms like insomnia. Now, those who suffer from bipolar disorders, schizophrenia, and anxiety disorders tend to have sleep discomfort or sleep distractions due to their symptoms, and can't fall and have trouble staying asleep. And for those who suffer from those illnesses, tend to have an irregular sleeping schedule, which gives opportunity of other symptoms like depression and anxiety to intensify due to lack of rest. Now, from the information I just told you guys, it seems that dealing with such symptoms can be difficult. But however, if these people decide to maybe incorporate the use of marijuana into their medical regimen, their therapy regimen, those symptoms can be alleviated. Medical marijuana is beneficial to alleviating symptoms such as anxiety, depression, and insomnia. Medicinal marijuana with high CBD levels has proven to reduce anxiety. A study made by the Institute of Psychiatry ran an experiment with giving people high strains of marijuana with high levels of CBD, and it was proven that it reduced the level of anxiety with tests of high stress tests like mazes and puzzles. And in the same study, They also gave a marijuana strain with a high CBD level to a person who suffered from a social anxiety disorder. And in such, the experiment came back and it reduced the level of anxiety due to the CBD levels in the limbic and paralimbic brain areas. Marijuana can also alleviate symptoms of insomnia. Cyan Ferguson's article, "Can You Use Cannabis to Restore Natural Sleep Cycles?" says that if you use the compound THC that's in the marijuana, it reduces the amount of REM sleep you get. And what REM sleep has to do with your dreams. So the less REM sleep you have, the less dreams you have. And for a person with post-traumatic stress disorder, it could mean less nightmares. Now that you guys have a more concrete and technical understanding of the health benefits that medicinal marijuana can play in a patient's life who's suffering from mental illness, I now want to get into a more personal story where I have seen the benefits of marijuana to someone suffering from mental illness. Now, a close family member of mine lives with the mental illness bipolar. Before he started using medicinal marijuana, his manic mood swings were unpredictable. One hour he was extremely happy and extremely excited about life, and the next point he's flipped to a hopeless, manic, just in bed, depressed, and it became so bad that it was kind of hard to be around him due to the fact that his emotions were just so unpredictable. And then after he started using marijuana medicinally, those symptoms started going away. His mood started becoming more stabilized. It was a notable change within 3 days. And till this day, I've been closer with him than I ever have before in my entire life. So people being diagnosed with mental illnesses is only going to increase from today, and I just would want people to open up their minds a little bit and maybe give medicinal marijuana a try, because I've personally seen that it does help mentally ill patients or suffering from mental illness. And my goal for you guys here today is maybe to take some of the knowledge that you've learned from me today and maybe tell it to someone who's feeling anxiety but doesn't want to take all the medicines prescribed by a psychiatrist and help them out. Now, my speech here is done, but on that note, I just want to end it with a quote from the famous rapper Snoop Dogg. "The more medicated, the more dedicated." Thank you.